All right, welcome to the 90th lecture in the Ontario University of Commerce English Lecture Series. Today is a two-part special event with David SweetLow, singer and songwriter David SweetLow. He has had a tremendously interesting career. I will save most of the details and let him tell you about himself. But the first part of our talk today is going to be a talk on songwriting, and the second part from 12 o'clock will be the performance over on the second floor of the Student Center. Please welcome David SweetLow.
Thank you. So this is the first time I've ever done a talk like this, so I'm sorry if it's a bit all over the place. But first of all, I want to talk about a little bit about my career, because I've been playing guitar now for about a long time. But I started when I was 15, so I think I've been playing about 10 years. No one's going to get that joke. Okay. So anyway, so I started off when I was 15 in a place called Southend-on-Sea in Essex, in England, in a rock and roll band playing Chuck Berry music and Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis songs in front of Teddy Boys, which is a youth cult in the UK, and they were into rock and roll music. Very, very violent people, so it was a hairy thing to do when I was 15, 16 years old. At 17, I joined another band, and we won a talent competition, and we did a tour of Germany for 3 weeks. I was 17 years old, and that's when I decided that that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, is be a musician. When we came back from Germany, we split up and we started another band which was called Memphis T-Rock, and that's when I started writing music for the first time. That band lasted for about 2 years, and we toured all over the UK, doing playing pubs and working men's clubs, which probably you won't have, but they're not very easy places to play at the best of times. Lots of drunk people and people trying things at you. But we got through that, and yeah, I think in 1976, a school friend of mine approached me and said, I'm going to start up a punk band. Punk is going to be very big in 1976, so you can imagine this was just before Sex Pistols, The Clash, and everything. So he was right on the nail, totally correct about what he said. And we started a band called Tonight. We rehearsed for about 3 months. We wrote 3 songs in that time, and we played a couple of pubs and clubs locally in my town, Southend. And yeah, one night we were approached by a manager, a guy called Peter. He approached us and said, I can make you pop stars and we can get you a record deal. The following weekend we went to London and signed to Warner Brothers Records, which was a multinational company in London at the time. They sent us away to Holland to rehearse for a month there, and when we came back, we cut a record called Drummer Man, which became a massive hit in the UK and over Europe. So if you can play that, you can see. This is us on Top of the Pops in the UK.
Here's tonight's Drummer Man.
Yeah.
Hit the drum, and it makes you want to body felt fun. Hit the drum, have you ever seen a drum like a drum? The drummer man told me he was so in love. He was so in with the majorette who used to lead the band. The drummer man told me he was so in love. He was so in love with the majorette. Just to hold a hand. The majorette, she was a rapper and then she could get. The majorette, and she made the music solid and they flat. She was on the parade and she can get the margarine, and she met the boys excited. The drummer man told me he was so in love. He was so in love with margarine. When he used to be the band. Oh, the drummer man told me he was so in love. He was so in love. Oh, it's terrific. That's nice and the drummer.
So yeah, that was in I think that was in January 1978. That record, that show came out on a Thursday. On the Saturday, our record went into the UK charts at number 14. It sold 150,000 copies in 2 days. In 2 days. That was the power of Top of the Pops in the UK. Every musician in the UK at that time wanted to go on Top of the Pops because it was an instant hit record to do that show. That doesn't exist anymore. It's not possible to do that now. So we had this hit record. We had another hit record after that that wasn't so successful, and we went to many studios around Europe to record an album, which cost a fortune. In those days, it was £100,000 we spent on recording the songs with many different producers. I can't remember all their names, but quite well-known people. And the record company, Warner Brothers, decided that they were going to split with our manager. And that was the end of our career. And tonight, our drummer, we were in our studios where the Beatles used to record in London. And the drummer was playing out of time, and the producer at that time said to him, "You've got to play in time, there's a lot of pressure here, you've got to play in time." And he threw his drumsticks out the window and walked out. He walked out, and we were pop stars, and he walked out, and that was the end of that band, unfortunately. Anyway, moving on, so 2 years later, the singer from here, Chris, we started another band, funny enough, called Yeah. The reason we called the band Yen was because we started with the name Y, which is just the letter Y. And one of us, I can't remember who, saw the Yen logo with the 2 crossed lines on the Y. And we thought this would be much more couple-y than just Y. So we had all these t-shirts, and we decided to call the band Yen. Yen went on to, we played for 10 years together. We toured all over Europe. We went to America twice. We toured with Gary Newman, who was a very famous artist in the UK in the 80s. He's still going now, but not so long anymore. And we cut 3 hits. We had 3 hit singles. Not so big as Drummer Man, but they got into the top 40. Talk to Me, which you're going to hear now, is from 1990, I think. And it got to number 30 something in the UK chart. So you can see the transition from being a punk rock star to a Duran Duran.
Never
That was from Big Sci-Fi.
Colloquial English, too fine. Colloquial English, too fine.
Yeah, got every memories. Good memories. Okay, so Yen, we had, as I said, we had 3 big singles. We recorded an album for Polydor Records. We had 2 songs in Hollywood movies. One was called Blood and Concrete with Jennifer Beals at the time. We spoke a lot about Miles Copeland, who was our boss, our record label boss at the time. A very interesting person. Probably some of you guys know about Miles Copeland. He was, his father was CIA agent, really interesting guy. Anyway, so...
A little louder, please. Yeah.
Louder? Louder?
Louder.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll try.
Go ahead.
I'll try the mic. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
You've also got the wireless, the one you can stick to your chest if you want.
Ah, any worse. Yeah, okay, I'll use that one, yeah, yeah. There we go. I'll use the time. Hello, hello, hello. Is that better? Yeah? Okay. So Yen, as I said, Yen carried on. We were together for about 10 years. We had 3 hit singles, an album, and we toured around the world with, around Europe, one time to America with Gary Newman, who was a big star in the UK at the time in the 80s and 90s. After Yen, I moved to Barcelona, Spain, basically because I was bored with the UK scene, and I had an opportunity to work with an up-and-coming TV producer on writing ads, jingles we call them, which is music for TV ads. We wrote various songs for different companies, in Spanish companies basically, but we were offered to do the music for a Cherry Coke campaign. I can't remember the date exactly, but I think it must have been about 97. And this Cherry Coke campaign, we wrote a track in 3 hours. It's just a techno song, and it sold 2 million copies around the world, all around the Latin world. And we were paid $5,000 each for this because it was just an ad. It's called Cherry Coke, Cherokee, no hagas el indio. Okay, out of those 3 songs that you just heard, which one do you like best? Can you answer, anybody? Which one would you buy now? Do they understand?
Yeah.
Yeah?
How many of you would like Drummer Man?
How many
Raise your
like
hands
Drummer
like
Man?
Drummer Man the best. The
1,
best.
2.
How about Talk to Me from Yen?
Talk to me. Oh! Okay.
Okay.
And what about Cherokee? Talk to me. After I re-release Talk to Me, I think. Yeah. Definitely, definitely. My friends will be happy. Okay, so the next question is, why do we write songs? Why do songwriters write songs? Anyone know? Why do we do it? It's not for the money, I can guarantee that. What do you think? What's the idea of writing songs, do you know?
Expressing yourself?
Yeah, it's creative expression. It's exactly the same as writing a book, writing poetry, painting a picture, and it's a need that you have. If you're an artist, you have to do this. It's not a choice, really. It's something you have to do. Whether you do it successfully or whether you just do it for your mum or your kids, well, you do have you have to do this. And I, as a songwriter, every day I think about songs, I look for song titles, and my 12-hour working day is all about, in some way or another, about songwriting. So to demonstrate how a song works, basically, there's 2 parts of songs. There's the tension and release. The tension is usually the verse, nearly always the verse, and the release is the chorus. So I want to just demonstrate that a little bit, so I'll come a bit closer because this is not very loud here. So this is a verse of a song. This is a story. A dream of snowy nights, cold in winter times, covered in silent moon, smothered in love and bridge, okay? Now the release. Tension. So there are 2, 3 parts of usually a song. And I have to be dynamics. If I just play all the way through a song with no dynamics in it, it's boring. It's boring. But songs are all about tension and release. Tension and release. And also, they're about how they affect you emotionally. So I'm particularly fond of sad, melancholic songs. It's just because that's how I am. So I tend to write melancholic songs. Songs about nostalgia, home, maybe because I live away from home, unrequited love sometimes. So I'm going to sing you the first line. The first lines of the last song are up on the screen there, up on the board there, and I'm going to come around and ask you how they make you feel. How do you feel when you hear this? So, here's the words again. A dream of snowy nights, cold in winter times, covered in silent moon, smothered in love. Okay, this table here, how do they make you feel? Nostalgic? How do they make you feel? Do you feel nostalgic? Do you feel yearning? Do you know the word longing? Longing? No. What about you guys? Anyone?
Longing.
A longing, okay, great, okay. A yearning, yeah. Anyone? Anyone? Any definitely? Do you know? A dream of snowy nights. What did that make you think of? Just a dream of snowy nights.
Provider right now.
Yeah,
Maybe
well
not
done.
today, but last week.
Yeah, yeah, you hit it on the nail. Yeah, caught in winter tides.
Yeah.
What does winter tides? What does that make you think of? What does winter tides make you think of? The waves of snow coming in, like a tide of snow. Just for me. Right, the other two are fairly personal lines, but I wonder if anyone gets it. Covered in satin blue, what would that mean? Yeah, you know it. One of these guys, covered in satin blue, anyone know? Okay, tell them.
Well, I don't know if I know, but I would say it's a dress or some piece of
No,
clothing.
actually it's not. It's not, no. It's between the sheets, satin blue sheets. Because obviously the next line is smothered in loving you. So it's a love song, it's just a love song. It's a dream about being with your lover here in Hokkaido. I actually, at the time I wrote this song, I wasn't in Hokkaido, I was in Barcelona, Spain. So, but I wanted to come here to meet someone who was very special to me, and that's what I wrote. And the song carries on in that order. So, yeah, another track, another song now. This one's a totally different emotion, a totally different, feeling, I suppose. So if I see if I can get anyone to comment on this one, you guys will know what it's about straight away, I think. The song is called Tidal Wave, which everyone in Japanese knows is tsunami. But it's not about a wave. It's not a wave of tsunami water. It's an emotional wave that you feel when you're told something that's going to affect you very, very strongly. So see if you can get the idea of it, please. If I can play it. Heaven knows, Lord, this ain't right. I ain't ready to lose my life. Turn back to this cruelty. Show some light on this heaven. Okay, what's that about? What's all that nonsense about? What do you think? Anyone have any ideas?
It's a Japanese song, Enka.
No, it's not a Japanese song. No.
Sounds like,
Well, it could be, I suppose.
yeah, good melody for.
Heaven knows, Lord, this ain't right. Okay, Lord in God. I ain't ready to lose my life. What do you think? It's the first person. The song is first person. We're talking first person. Yeah.
Somebody struggling with cancer or a severe illness.
Do you already know my music? Yeah, it's exactly right. Someone's just been told by their doctor that they're dying of cancer and they've got 3-4 months of life left. And they're not happy about it. Obviously, you know, suddenly this emotional wave comes over you that this is how you would feel, I would imagine. You know, I know the person this song's about, so yeah, it's exactly that. So again, how does that make you feel? How do you feel when you listen to this music? Not nostalgic, I would imagine. So, anyone know? How do you feel when you hear that? How do you feel when you hear that? Does it make you feel sad? Happy? Not happy, no. Sad? Yeah, okay, yeah. Sad? Anyone else sad? Does it make you feel sad?
I would say you would also be able to feel sympathy easier.
Yeah,
You have a
yeah,
soothing melody.
empathy, yeah. But it is the song is in first person, so the person suffering is singing, is actually singing. You know, so yeah, I think it's sadness, but also a dread. It's about a dread that you've been. I don't know if you understand the word dread. When something terrible has been told to you, how do you express that? How do you express that? Well, that lady couldn't really. She couldn't, so I did. I did it for them. But, yeah, so the whole idea is that these is to say that if you put words and music together, it's very powerful. It's a very powerful thing. I sing that song and it brings me to tears sometimes because it's so powerful. Even if I didn't know the person it happened to, which I do, but even if I didn't, it would be it's very difficult to sing because emotion, it gets you. So, let's play another song now, not so sad, but this is the kind of music that I enjoy and that I like to write. But also there's another kind of music, which is the other side of what music's about, and it's happiness, you know, joy. So, this is a joy. Just do the first verse. Here we are. Well down where the gators fly. Molly roll runs the pride. Oh, when she went on without all on me. Oh, baby, woman, can't you see that I like the blue too? I like the blue too. Oh, I like the blue too. I like the blue too. Baby, you too. Okay, what's that about? What do you think that one's about? Did you get it? What do you think it's about? I like the voodoo you do. Do you know what voodoo is? No. It's a kind of black magic that's it's practiced in Haiti, in the Caribbean, and the south of the United States, especially in Louisiana. So, what do you think that song's about? What do you think? Anyone? No? About sex. About sex, purely and simple. It's all about sex. Innuendo. Innuendo. It's never said, it's all implied, which is another very powerful way to use music, to use song. Paul McCartney once said about John Lennon that he could never tell John Lennon that he loved him, not to his face, because John would just say, "What, you're a poofter or something, you know, what?" But in a song he could do it, and he actually wrote he loved John Lennon in a song after he died. So, but that's the power of songwriting. It makes you be able to say things that you can't normally say to people. So I'll ask you one or two of you now. If you could write a song, what would you write about? Because I wrote about cancer, I've wrote about dreams, I wrote about sex. So what would you guys write about? Any of you? What would you write a song about? If you could? No? What about you?
Well, I don't write songs. I occasionally write poems,
Yeah.
and those are more into the. I think it was Hokkaido Mountain Blue.
Yeah. Dreams.
In that kind of direction, more melancholic.
Yeah. Dreams. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Okay. Possible situations that might happen in the future. Okay. What about any of you guys? Come on. You can understand? Do you think? Yeah. It's shy. Yeah. What would you write a song about, you girls? If you could write a song, what would you write about? Love? Would you write about love? Because that's, you know, that's the 90% of music is about love in one form or another. I don't know, what would you write about? Your mum and dad? Brother and sister? You know, nobody? No one got any ideas? Okay. Anyway, so the next part really is about how do we put songs together. So I forgot about the wire. I thought something hanging off me. So songs are usually they have 6 or 7 elements to them. Usually as an intro. I usually, when I write a song, the intro is the verse with no words. So I usually do just like the intro to some of the words, same as Hokkaido Mountain Blue. Then there's usually a first verse. It's got to come about 20 seconds, 25 seconds after the intro if it's popular music. If it's not popular music, it doesn't matter, but if it's popular music, if you don't start singing after 25 seconds, they'll usually turn you off the radio. You'll get turned off. Sometimes there's a bridge in a song. This is the part that brings you up and keys you up for the chorus. So it keys you up for the tension. I'll try and play it. It's easier to play it. So, yeah. So the bridge of Hokkaido Mountain Blue is this part here. Where, So this is the bridge. Verse. Dream of summer nights, cold in winter time. Then the bridge. The chorus. How many of you can remember that? Can anyone sing that? How many of you can remember it? Can you remember it? Yeah? Okay, can you remember it? Not the words, that's not important, the melody. So a good chorus is very memorable. If I play that twice, you should be able to remember it. If not, then I'll start again. Write another song. But that's usually what happens. Some songs it's not so important, the chorus. My friends usually tell me, my songwriting friends, says, David, you've got to write a hook. You never write a hook, you know. So maybe that's a problem in the But other songs, they don't always have to have a pop chorus to them. Another very important part of songwriting is you have to have a message, you have to have a concept of what you're writing about. As I was telling Sean when we came here today, that 50% of writing a song is to have something to say. If you haven't got anything to say, then it's a waste of time, you might as well not say anything. And that's for writers, for poets, for painters, any artistic thing you're going to do. If you don't have a concept, if you don't have an idea of what to write about, then you can't write songs, you can't do it. It's the most difficult thing. So I usually write stuff about personal things, or nearly always, maybe 90% of the time I write personal things. It's my way of, my artistic expression. Okay. So, moving on. Let's go about talk now about the process of how to put a song together. So when I'm writing a track, I probably have a title in my head, and then you have to get a chord sequence together, which is another different thing. But all songs are round. Most art is round, so you have to get a round shape. So, okay, I've got this chord sequence, now what? Now what do I do? Now what do I do? So, I'll start humming usually. So I'm going to get you guys, if possible, to hum. Okay, so you like musicians, you go, just hum along to it. What would you sing? Just quietly. Okay, same. Most people just go. Try melody? Try melody. You go. Difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. Apart from being shy, but it's difficult. It's not easy. Do you want to try it? Someone want to try it? What would you sing over there? Okay. Not hearing anything here. Not hearing anything. Not many songwriters here. Right, let's try these guys. And I'll try these guys. Oh God. Just hum along. Just hum. So, anything. Yeah, you're following the melody, okay. Yeah, you're doing what everybody does. You're following the melody, you're just following these basic notes. Do you want to have a go? You write songs. Let's hear it. Check out a melody for me.
Because I can sing.
That doesn't matter, not can I. Yeah, so it's difficult. But when you've been doing this for 40 odd years, then obviously you start to think, okay, what can I do here? So I think I wrote, actually, because it's a new, it's a new song. I can't actually remember what the lyrics are now. Okay. So I wrote, there's a river, I will cross it. There's a mountain, I will move it. Baby, all this I will do for you. There's a room, I will write it. There's a reason, I will fight it. There's a million and one to choose. There's a rainbow, I will find it. There's a star, I will chase it. Baby, all this I will do for you. Didn't do that very well, but you get the idea, I think. So. There's a room, I will find it. Da 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 Cool. Doing a different key, that's one. So it's not easy to write. Writing songs is very, very difficult. Okay. Right, now the process. Process of getting a song that you write from that stage to the stage of like Drummer Man or a song on the radio. So how many people know how that happens? Do you know how that happens? Any questions? How can you get a track that you've written in your bedroom from there to getting a whole production done? No one knows, okay. So the first thing is, these days, years ago when I was playing in Drummer Man and Money That's Your Problem, we had to go into a studio that maybe cost $2,000 a day. Okay, massive desk, audio engineer, producer. It will cost you at least $2,000 a day to record that. That's all changed now. It's all disappeared. Most of the big studios around the world are going. They're finishing. They're packing up. Why? Because you can record digitally now. You don't need to record onto tape, which means going through lots of analog equipment, lots of racks of gear. You can have a Mac computer, a good microphone, you'll need a good guitar or a keyboard, and you can record what would years ago would cost you $80,000. You can record in your bedroom virtually now onto a Mac, which is how I record my tracks. I have a small studio in my home. I have a very expensive microphone, a normal microphone. I've got a jipped up Mac, which is very fast. You need a powerful Mac, you can't just use anything else. You need a lot of power, and you need ideas. That's it really. After that, you just play into your Mac. It sounds easy, but it's not. You have to be an audio engineer. You have to be, if you're doing it on your own, you have to be an audio engineer. You have to be a producer. You have to be a mixer, and even some of us master our own things. So just go through what you have to do. If you're an indie musician, now you have to produce your own tracks. So you've got your Mac, you've got your microphone, and you have to be your own producer. What does a producer do? Well, if you've got another guy doing it for you who already knows what he's doing, it's easy, because he'll tell you how to sing the song, how to play it. He might tell you even the genre, because the genres are defined by the instruments you use. So if you use a synth and you use heavy kick drums and bass, then you're going to be writing techno dance music. But you can take that same song that I played earlier and turn that into dance music if you want to. It just depends on the instruments you use. So I usually use acoustic guitar, and I use violins or fiddles, double bass, because I like that acoustic sound. So, what does the producer do? He usually controls the project, they arrange the songs, they point the artist in the right direction, and they also coach the artist when they're singing, because, as you know, singing is not easy. Sometimes if you sing a song in one way, it will sound like something, and you can sing it in another way, and it will sound hooky and good. So a producer supervises the whole project usually. So usually, as an indie musician, you have to be your own producer as well. Any questions about producing? No? Anyone got any questions about what a producer does? It's a bit like a film director, really, what a film director does, which is a bit more common. Audio engineer. Okay, this is one of the most difficult jobs. Even today, with today's DAWs, which is a digital audio workstation, you still have to know a lot of things to be able to get your song played from there to a production standard. So an audio engineer, he usually works closely with a producer. He does all the technical aspects. He'll set the mic up, he'll get the mic in the right position, he'll balance the sound so that people can play to what you're hearing in your headphones. It's a very, very difficult job, and it takes over many, many years to learn. Another big job these days, especially in modern music, is a mixing engineer. Producers nowadays, they don't like to commit when they're recording bands or artists. So they tend to record over 200 tracks on an audio workstation, which is a Mac. So they may record 200 different tracks, because they'll say, oh, this is a good idea, so let's record it. Okay, then they record it, and you'll end up with hundreds and hundreds of different tracks with loads of nonsense usually. And they send this away, this whole package, to a guy called a mixing engineer, whose job is to sort it all out. So they have to go through all these hundreds of tracks and decide which is the one they're going to use, which way it's going to be, which way the music's going to be focused. So it's a very important job. And then now, highly paid people, you can earn $25,000 just to mix one track, which may take you 6-7 hours to do. So that's a very lucrative thing to do if you're a good mixing engineer. The last stage of mixing or mastering is called a mastering engineer. So it's another step in the ladder that you have to do before you can get a piece of music like Drum Man or Talk to Me. What do they do? Well, once the audio is mixed into a file, they have to send it off and it goes to a special studio where they have special monitors, and the engineer is specially trained to make your music from a tiny little thing like this to a great big thing, a broadcastable piece of audio, excuse me. Yeah, again, it's a very artistic job because it depends on the levels. I don't want to get too many technical things, but they can make your record sound amazing, even though it's not. That's how good a mastering engineer can be. He can turn what they say really, they can turn into a turd into a masterpiece, which is probably not a very good analogy, but they use that all the time. Bad material, they usually call them turds, unfortunately. But yeah, that's their job. It's, again, they earn a lot of money, these people earn a lot of money. So from a producer to the mastering engineer, how many did I say? Four different levels. And then you've got your finished product, you've got your finished piece of music from your first song till now. Okay, any questions? Any questions?
The difference in the cost of producing it by yourself now and the cost of what it was in the 70s, what's the difference? What's the spread?
Wait, money?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. An album back in the 70s or 80s would, if it was going to be a top class album, cost up to £100,000. Up to £100,000 altogether. Most of it would be recording costs, because the studios were at $2,000 a day. Now, you can record. If you're a band, it's more difficult because you have to have drums, you have to have a bass player. But as a solo artist, solo singer-songwriter, you can record your music for nothing, almost for free, because you do it yourself. You do it yourself. It gets more expensive if you start employing musicians and you employ a producer. Then maybe a top-class producer will charge a lot of money. I don't know what they charge them. As I said, if you want a top-class mixer to mix your track, and again, they can turn something that's very mediocre into something really good. But someone like David SweetLow will charge $25,000 a track. There are other people. The best way to do it, if you record your piece of music on a Mac, you want to send it away to be mixed by somebody, is to find a good mixer online, a young guy or a young girl. And they're probably really good, but they haven't got a name yet. But they'll do a good job, and they might even do it for free, just to work on it. Yeah, so my album, this album, I think cost to produce probably 120,000 a year from 100,000 pounds.
Big difference.
Yeah, about 120,000 a year. But lots and lots and lots and lots of work, lots of time. I take around a month to do one song, and that's working 4 or 5 hours a day, probably on that song, about a month to do that. Because there's so much technical aspects that goes into it. How you record an acoustic guitar. Maybe when I record an acoustic guitar now, before I would maybe just play the song, you know. Just play those notes into the microphone, but now I don't. Now I tend to do, I'll play that part, and then I'll play the bass notes onto another track, so it's in stereo. Just these little tiny things, but it takes a long time to do them. Any other aspects, I don't know. You need a good room in your house. If you're going to record music in your house, then you need a fairly good room. My room is completely soundproofed, like a small studio really is. Any other questions?
Questions?
Anyone? No?
So what? You said Japan project for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
What's the key process to keep communication among band members?
Oh, good communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just a chemical thing between people, really. I mean, the best thing to do, you two, for example, they stay together for a very long time because only two of them write in you two. It's Bono and Yet. They're the only two that write. But why have they stayed together for so long? Because they share all the money equally. So when you make music, most of the music, if you're a writer in a band, you get most of the money. That's how it works. If you're only playing drums and that's it, you get a small percentage of royalties. But the writer earns most of the money. So what happens in most bands is that when they're successful, the writers get all the money and the drummer and the bass player don't get anything, or very little. So this is when problems happen, because they don't realise this when they start out. You put a band together, and your four guys and the singer comes up, oh, I've got this great song, guys. Okay, they go in the studio, they record it, it's a big hit, the singer gets all the money, because that's how it works. But you two decided straight from day one that they were going to split the money always. Even, doesn't matter if they write, and they stay together for all that time because of that, no friction. And the same happened with, I think Duran Duran, there's a few bands that went on for a long, long time that they split the money all the way. But usually, that's the main cause of breakups. Other problems usually arise when you've got different musical ideas. Someone wants to do something acoustic, and the other guy wants to, oh no, I'll put synths all over it, you know. So that can cause friction. Or you just have a bad day, like my drummer. He had a bad day in the studio, you know, he couldn't take the pressure. He was very young, he couldn't take the pressure, and he walked out. But he walked out on what probably would have been a massive career, because we were very up and coming band. We were in all the papers, all over the television, starting to tour, and he just had, can't handle it, and went. But it's a good question, though. It's a good question. Stay friends, you know. Always share the money if you can. But it's hard to do, because if you're a struggling writer, maybe the only way you're going to make a living is to write, then sometimes it's unfair to share that money with the guy who's just playing the bass on your song, because anyone can play the bass on a song. Anyone else? Anyone?
So you've got your album out.
Yeah.
How do you promote it these days?
Right, okay, yeah, that's another good question. Something's not working. How do you promote it? You play live. You have to play live a lot, as much as you can. You have a good Facebook page. That's really important. You have a Twitter account. Twitter is very, very important for indie musicians, because we all link up together around the world. I have probably 200 musicians on my Twitter page that we're all indie musicians, and whenever we get something that comes, whenever we release anything, we all share that. It's part of what we do. You know, when my friend in Australia brings out a single or brings out a piece of music, I share it on my Twitter, so it's promoted with all my followers, etc., etc., etc. So that's a good way. How else? YouTube. Do YouTube videos. When you play live, put videos up on Facebook. But basically, you have to just build up your audience, your live audience. And every time I play somewhere, I usually make 1 or 2 contacts, and slowly but surely, you build it up. But you only need 300 people around the world. So 300 out of how many billions? You need 300 people to buy your music every time you bring something out. And that will give you about $5,000 a month. Because that's all you need. You know, if you can get 5,000 downloads, I'm sorry, 300 downloads, $300. My album is 1,500 yen. So 300 times 1,500 yen every month. That's all you need. So many people now, many indie musicians now are making far more money than they ever did in the 80s, the 70s, or the early 90s because of this. And there's lots of people out there that make a lot of money that you never hear of. You never know them. You don't know who they are.
And people are paying to download rather than sticking with future.
Yeah, they will do, but if they're your fans, I'm saying if they're your fans, they're people that like what you do and they want to see you carry on making music, they will buy your music. And you need around 300. I mean, if you can get 5,000, brilliant, but You need around 300 people to do that. But people like I don't know, Lady Gaga and these massive, they don't make much money on record sales. They don't. Their millions don't come from record sales. Because the people that buy their music are young kids like you guys. And you're not going to spend, if they can download it for free, I don't know in Japan, but in Europe, most kids don't download their music paying for it. They pirate it. So they make their money through perfumes and merchandise and playing live, basically. That's how it's made. And that's why record companies are going out of business, because the artist is making most of the money now, not the record company. Years ago, it was totally the other way around. I had a hit record with Drummer Man. It sold 250,000 copies. I didn't see a penny. Me personally, I didn't see a penny. I didn't get anything. Yeah, I got limos back to my flat. You know, I got great restaurants and really treated well for 2 years. But personally, any money, nothing. The record company had it.
You wrote it.
I didn't write Drummer Man. No, I didn't write that. But even I know the writers, and they're the same. You know, they didn't make very much money out of it. You know, a couple of £1,000 each. Something. If you think 250,000 copies of one record at that time, a single record would have been about £2. Work it out. $500,000. Where did all that money go? Record company, shops. So yeah, music shops, people like Tower Records, they don't make the money they used to. And record companies, big major record companies, only make money from big major stars now. They won't sign you now unless you've got 100,000 hits on your YouTube page. Then they might be a little bit interested, otherwise no. Okay, anyone else? Okay then. Well, anyone coming to the concert?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Good.
All right, let's thank David
Thank you very
SweetLow
much.
for his. Okay, he's got some CDs up here if you're interested in
Yeah.
buying CDs. We'll ask him to sign them for you if you would like. And we've got about 30 minutes before the concert. We'll stay here for a few minutes and then we're going to take David over and get him set up. Please come to the concert at 12 o'clock. Thanks for coming today. Hope you see you at the concert.
It's not